allegiance, led by Councilman McElway.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good afternoon, late afternoon, early evening. I'll call this meeting to order. And we have one application before us and one decision item for the board's consideration scheduled for this evening. The third item has been adjourned. Our first application is TC 5437, Fifth Avenue Rentals. Madam Clerk, if you would please read the hearing notice.
Sure, Madam Supervisor. TC number 5437, Fifth Avenue Rentals, LLC. Applicant requests a change of zone from Residence B District to General Service T District in order to construct a medical office building. A parking lot relaxation may be required as part of this application. This property is located in the Bayshore School District and located on the southeast corner of North Clinton Avenue and Howells Road, through lot 5th Avenue, Bayshore.
Okay, if the applicant would come forward, give us a brief overview, then we'll hear from the department.
Good evening, Supervisor, members of the board. My name is Jacqueline Pronto, Principal at Key Civil Engineering, located at 664 Blue Point Road in Holtsville, New York, 11742. I'm standing in tonight for our project attorney, Ray Justo, who had a unfortunate death in the family and is not able to be here tonight. So I'll be representing our client, Fifth Avenue Rentals, LLC. Luis Fandos is with me as well this evening. The subject parcel is located on the south side of Howells Road between North Clinton Avenue and Fifth Avenue. Both Howells Road and Fifth Avenue are under the jurisdiction of Suffolk County DPW, and Clinton Avenue is under the jurisdiction of the town of Islip. The parcel is also listed on the Suffolk County tax map as District 500, Section 340, Block 2, Lot 30. The property is currently vacant and zoned Residence B. We're here tonight seeking the town board approval to rezone the property to General Service T to allow for a two-story medical office building with a footprint of 5,000 square feet and a GFA of 10,000 square feet. Rezoning this parcel to allow a business use is appropriate and within the character of the neighborhood. Commercial uses surround the property to the north, east, and west. The site plan presented will also require variances from the Board of Zoning Appeals for lot area, as we're slightly over the maximum 4,000 square feet, as well as to allow for parking in the front yard. The site plan places the building at the north side of the property with parking to the south and west. The site provides for 64 stalls and a 25-foot wide evergreen buffer adjacent to the residential properties to our south. Site access is provided from, site access is provided from North Clinton Avenue and Fifth Avenue. The proposed building was also designed to present a more residential appeal. Prior to the planning board hearing on January 17th, Dr. Fandos and Mr. Justo met with about 15 neighbors to hear their concerns and reach an agreement. As a result of the meeting, the following changes were made and accepted by the neighbors and the planning board at that hearing. The primary use of the property has been updated to medical office use exclusively and not ambulatory surgical center. The curb cut on North Clinton Avenue was shifted about 80 feet north, and the exit is now designated as a right turn only. The parking layout was modified slightly due to the shifted curb cut, and the planning board granted a 3-stall waiver. Our traffic engineer, Sean Mulryan, is with me tonight if there's any further questions from the board regarding parking or traffic. In the rear of the property, we're proposing 14 to 16 foot tall evergreen trees at the time of planting to provide an established buffer to our neighbors to the south, in addition to the required 6-foot high stockade fence. And the building height was reduced from 33.3 feet to 31.5 feet. And our project architect, Michael Dunn, is here tonight as well if there's any questions pertaining to the building's architecture. The Town Planning Board approved the project with those agreed upon covenants and restrictions on January 17th. In summary, we feel that the proposed development is in conformity with the character of the area and constitutes the highest and best use of the property. Happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions for the applicant at this time? Hearing none, I ask Sean to come up and give us a brief overview of the department's assessment.
Thank you Supervisor Carpenter, members of the board. As stated by the applicant, the subject property is currently zoned for a single family and is located at a relatively busy intersection in Bayshore. At the public hearing, the planning board had concerns about the quality of life for the future residences that could potentially be built there and recommended a change of zone to general service T, which allows for the office uses but retains the residential appearance of the immediate area and neighborhood. The site plan has been reviewed by both the town's traffic consultant and Suffolk County. No major concerns were raised by either one. As you heard, the applicant has further agreed to plant a vegetative buffer that exceeds the minimum requirements for plant size and maturity at the time of planting. So it sounds like they've addressed most of the concerns and the planning board agreed of the public. So with that, I'm here if you have any questions.
Are there any questions? Sure. Councilman Lorenzo?
Sean, the GST zoning could provide for some, if you want to call it mixed use, residential up top and commercial down low, or no?
It could, correct.
And has the applicant brought that idea to you at all? Or no, because being that it's in a residential area?
They've expressed no interest to put any apartments in the building.
Okay.
And you did say that it is going to be indicated medical office use exclusively.
Well, the covenants don't say exclusively. That's what the applicant is representing. Certainly, if they want to have professional offices, that's generally considered a less intense use, so we wouldn't discourage that. But at this time, we don't see any need to prohibit that.
Less intense than medical office.
Correct.
A legal office would be less, yeah. Mhm. Any questions or comments for the department at this point?
I'm just having some trouble understanding what people are calling south and north because it's a little bit of a strange parcel. So
So-
the applicant suggested that the building is going to be on the northernmost portion of the property, which is on Howells Road. Okay, very good. And the plantings that are going to be used for screening, that's to screen from the residential properties that are furthest to what I would call the south.
That's correct.
What's the buffer? What is the road to the North Clinton? Okay, and then the other road there.
Fifth Avenue, where the fire department is.
Yeah, yeah,
They're two
Yep.
one-way streets.
okay.
Yeah.
Great, thanks.
Okay, we have no cards. No one has signed up to speak on this hearing. And if there are no other comments or questions for the applicant, I would entertain a motion.
Happy to make the motion. Motion
Okay.
to close the public hearing. Issue a negative declaration.
Sorry, there are several neighbors here.
Well, I'm sorry, I have no cards that have been filled out for anyone to speak. There is a process here. But if there is a question about evergreens, I heard you say 14, please. I heard you say 14 to 16 foot tall at planting. Evergreens are going to be planted, that you met with the neighbors and you've, agreed to some concessions. I would assume that was one of them,
Yes,
as you put on the record.
yes, as well as moving the curb cut further north.
Right.
on
Mhm.
Clinton And
Okay.
making it a right turnout only. Thank you.
Okay, so we have a motion to close the public hearing,
Close the public hearing,
issuing
Issue a negative declaration. Adopt the resolution.
Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Thank you. The next application,
They didn't know they had to sign up to speak.
well, there was someone there. All right, we'll continue item 2 with the decision item for Miguel Garzone. There has been a request from Councilman Guadron for an additional 30 days. At the last meeting, we granted 30 days to provide a structural engineering report on the status of the building because it was deemed structurally unsound. So we have a motion or a request from Councilman Guadron for an additional 30 days. And I'm going to make a motion to adjourn and give the applicant that additional 30 days. I have a motion. Is there a second?
May I speak for the record, please?
Quickly, yes.
Yes, I am a small business owner, and as a founder member of the Salvador American Chamber of Commerce, I know of the importance of small businesses and their contributions to our economy and communities. I am in favor of the economic development and advancements of our minority communities as well as small business owners. But I'm also called to be vigilant for the well-being of our constituents in every aspect of their lives and to protect our history and historical sites. That's why I requested that to be adjourned for another month or 30 days.
Well, we had done that last month.
Thank you.
And as a, personal favor to the councilman who represents the district, you asked for another 30 and we,
Correct.
are going to do that. But this will be the final adjournment because the property owner certainly has made a pledge to construct something that will be visually in keeping with what is there, although it won't be falling down and an eyesore in the neighborhood, but something that the community could be very, very proud of. So with that, I have made that motion to adjourn for 30 days. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman McElway. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is adjourned.
Thank you, Madam
And
Supervisor.
the last item.
Madam
I guess is the
Supervisor,
app-
if I may, I will get a copy of that report. And if there's any ability for the Historical Society to get it prior to that 30-day period, so it's not dragged out further, I would appreciate it. Thank you so much.
What report are you requesting?
The report from the Historical Society.
Yeah, put it on the record. When we get it, from a structural engineer, not, a casual looking at the property, we'll be happy to share it.
Thank you.
Okay. And the last item was requested to be adjourned. That was 54, TC number 5422. So that is all the business that's come before us this evening.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor?
Aye.
We stand adjourned. Thank you.